This is how dogs can recognize people. Dogs have several cues to help them recognize people. This includes listening to people's voices, sniffing them, watching their moods, or looking at their facial expressions. In this video, we'll explore the super unique ways dogs use to recognize people. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting videos. Number 1. Voice. Dogs are experts when it comes to recognizing people by their voices. According to research, it is easy for dogs to differentiate between their owner's voice and that of a stranger. They do this by using some human voice properties such as pitch, nosiness, and timbre. Dogs can also identify a voice over the phone. They have a hearing frequency range of about 40 to 40,000 Hz, which are high-pitched sounds. Little wonder why they're super alert, and most people prefer to use them as securities. Like humans, dogs have two ears that are separated by approximately 60 degrees in their head, allowing them to locate where sound is coming from. They also have 18 ear muscles which help them tilt and rotate their ears in different directions. Knowing the exact direction of a sound has also helped them to escape predators. Number 2. Images. We all know that dogs are incredibly smart. They can be trained to do some pretty amazing things, and they have an incredible sense of smell. But did you know that dogs have the ability to recognize people from photos? This is possible because their flicker sensitivity is higher than that of humans. Although they usually have a hard time trying to pick out specific images on the screen because the shapes seem jerky to them, they take in visual information 25% faster than humans. Dogs can also identify people from photographs. They will concentrate on the image, and eye tracking will demonstrate that they are following this image and looking at the section of the image that they recognize. A study revealed that dogs stare longer and more closely at photographs of individuals they knew than that of strangers. It is easier for them to recognize images from the television screen than the phone because the TV screen is larger. Number 3. Scent. Dogs are never wrong about scents. These creatures can sense anything from food to people and even hard drugs. Their sense of smell is 10,000 times more powerful than that of the one humans possess. They take in smells separate from each nostril, and when they exhale, the scent remains in their sensory organs. Dogs also have a unique olfactory organ called the vomeronasal organ. This organ helps to prolong their sense of smell. They can follow a stranger's scent for miles till they can finally sniff out the differences. Since each human smell is unique to them, it triggers the pleasure center in the dog's brain. Once they sniff a familiar scent, their brain cells light up. It doesn't matter if a dog becomes blind or deaf at some point, the sense of smell will still be intact. A dog's sense of smell is a superpower and very sensitive. This super sense of smell also makes them great companions to humans. When you walk in on a dog and it opens its mouth to breathe hard, this is a sign that the dog is trying to take in more of your scent. Number 4. Sight. Dogs have long been known to have an excellent sense of smell, but they also have a good sense of sight. According to scientists, dogs can see at 3,000 miles what humans see at 3. They use their eyes and ears together to gather information about the world around them. When we speak to them, they look at our faces and listen to our voices. However, dogs have fewer visual receptors than humans do. This means they have trouble seeing in dim light, but they see motion better than we do. Because dogs have fewer rods, they aren't able to see as much detail as we do. Dogs watch people intently. By staring at you, they're paying attention to the details about you, and soon they'll have no difficulty recognizing you by your face. But don't expect your dog to recognize you so quickly. It takes a while for them to get used to their owner's face. Number 5. Names. Dogs pay attention to everything people say, from the language people speak to the names people bear. It doesn't matter if you're physically present or not. Once a dog has heard your name before, it will become alert and interested when it hears your name a second time. Number 6. Habits. Dogs are extremely intelligent creatures and can learn a lot about you as a person. They are able to recognize your habits, such as the way you walk or talk, and can even remember them over time. This means that if you change your routine, they will notice. They don't just recognize people by their habits, but they will also mimic the person's habits. For instance, if a dog identifies a person through sleeping, it will likely want to sleep like that person. Also, if the owner stays up late at night, the dog will do the same. Number 7. Facial expression. Dogs recognize people by their facial expressions and respond accordingly. By identifying people by a facial expression, a dog tries to repeat or avoid the incident that made you display that facial expression. For instance, if your dog poops in an unhealthy spot and you frown at it, that expression quickly registers in its sensory organs, and you'd be surprised to see the dog recoil guiltily. The same thing applies to a smile. If you smile at the dog, it relaxes its ears and wags its tail. Although dogs can recognize humans by their facial expressions, they work hard for it. Dogs find it difficult to process the features of a person's face within a short period. It doesn't matter if they're staring at your direct face or the back of your head, they have to pay more attention to the gaze, the smile, the frown, sadness, and the pain before they can get it by recognizing people by their facial expressions. So, for a dog to recognize someone through facial expression, it must have stayed with that person for at least 6 months or more. Number 8. Speech and sounds. Dogs can tell the difference between human speech and sounds without explicit training. For instance, if you speak, your dog can differentiate your speech from that of your neighbors or friends. The same thing applies to sounds. For instance, if they hear the sound of their owner's bike, they can differentiate it from that of their neighbor. Also, dogs can distinguish between languages, even without training. According to brain scans conducted on dogs by some pet doctors, some areas of a dog's brain light up when they hear words from a new language. Dogs develop a preference for certain types of sounds when they're puppies. That's why some dogs will bark at the phone and others won't, even if they're the same breed and age. But over time, your dog will learn to recognize your voice and associate it with good things like treats or playtime. Number 9. Emotions. Dogs are known to be sensitive to human emotions and to respond accordingly. They might look sad when their owners are upset or happy when they are happy. According to research, a dog's ability to recognize humans through emotions comes from the age-long relationship between humans and canines. What helps them to identify humans by emotions is their visual and auditory clues, while their canine nose helps them relate with human mood. Though a dog may be able to recognize people through their emotions, they can't understand what these emotions mean. Number 10. Body language. Dogs are experts at reading body language, and they're able to pick up on subtle cues that humans don't even notice. They can tell the difference between a person who wants to play with them and someone who is going to do them harm just by interpreting the human body language. If you want to pet a dog, make sure that he signals that he's okay with it first by wagging his tail or licking his lips. If he does this, then go ahead and pet him gently on the head or back. However, if you see him backing away from you or showing any other signs of fear or aggression, like bared teeth, then leave him alone immediately so as not to frighten him further. Dogs can remember people for as long as they live. Once they get a particular detail about someone, they hold on to it for years. This ability to recognize people explains why a dog will begin to jump around you and wag its tail once they see you. If you have dogs around you, don't let them recognize you as an enemy, because if they do, they will try to attack you whenever they see you.